Hello everyone, my name is Sindhu Dinasty Pujayani and I am a postgraduate sociology student at 11 Maret University, Indonesia. Today, I represent Mr. Drajat Kartono and Mrs. Trisni Utami to talk about the impact of marine pollution through marine shrimp farming. Background of the study. The industrialization of shrimp farming in Konang Beach, Ngelebeng Village, has created new problems among traditional fishers. Traditional fishers from Konang Beach claim that the conflict occurred because it was triggered by waste from aquaculture activities being dumped directly into the sea without going through an optimal filters process. As a result, waste of shrimp feed and shrimp fertilizer drugs immediately dissolve into the sea. This caused concern for fishers, especially the traditional fishers of Konang Beach, considering that the shrimp pond feed and medicine are instant food types that can cause algae to bloom, so that many fish experience mass death of Konang Beach. So, research on conflict of interest between traditional fishers group and shrimp farming industry is fundamental. This study aims to identify and describe the positive and negative impacts caused by industrialization of shrimp farming on the lives of traditional fishers and environment of marine creatures at Konang Beach, Ngelebeng Village. Next, literature review. Robert M. Z. Lawang in 1994 defines conflict as a struggle to get something that considered rare, such as status, value, and power in society. The purpose of this conflict is not only gain profit but also to control the power of the opponent. Dahrendorf states that society has two phases, namely conflict and consensus. Society is held together by enforced non-freedom. There is a particular position that delegates power and authority over the positions. Dahrendorf argues that a societal position has authority and power at different levels. Authority is not an individual, but authority is a position and is not static. In brief, it can be concluded that Dahrendorf's theory discussed the social class struggles in industrial society. Dahrendorf's theory of class struggle focused more on the ownership of power and authority rather than on the ownership of capital and assets to control and suppress others under them. Research methods. The type of research used in this study is qualitative with a case study approach. The researcher wishes to collect in-depth information about the causes, triggers, and impact of the cases that occurred by exploring the case through select informants relevant to the conflict between traditional fishers and the shrimp farming industry in Konang Beach, Ngelebeng Village, Panggul District, Trenggalek. The data collection process was carried out through observation and interviews at the research site. In addition, many visitors in this village include traditional fishermen whose fishing system use traditional nets drawn by fishermen from the sea to the shore. cause of conflict between shrimp farms and traditional fishermen. Um, Most of the Ngelebong village community has worked as a fisherman for a long time. The emergence of the industrialization of shrimp farming on Konang Beach, Ngelebong village has had a tremendous impact on the lives of traditional fishers. The waste dumped carelessly by shrimp ponds into the sea causes seawater causes seawater pollution in the Konang Beach lip area and trade competition between ponds. Shrimp and traditional fishers also contribute to the increasingly heated conflict. Conflict occurs because each community is not in line with its goals. For the Rendorf, the cause of conflict is because parties have power or authority in various society. Conflict arises and as a result of the social system relationship that individuals and groups who do not have a relationship or a linkage in the social system are not likely to involve in a conflict. Conflict analysis of shrimp farms and traditional fishermen. The Rendorf divides groups involved in conflict into two types: quasi groups, which have power and the same interests and are the format because of the emerging interest groups. Furthermore, interest groups are organized groups with a program members and defined goals. Interest groups are usually the cause of conflict in society. In the conflict between fishers and shrimp ponds, fishers realize the interest they want to achieve and fight for, namely saving the marine environment and finding fish without being overshadowed by pollution and getting the benefits they should get. It can be concluded that the previous fishers are included in pseudo groups. However, the emergence of interest groups, namely shrimp ponds, made fishers who were quasi groups turn into interest group. In this interest group, two groups met, the group with power and under it. United by the same interest, this group later turned into conflict groups, two groups with the same interest in a conflict. In addition, there is also the impact of conflict on this community economy. The economy of fishers has decreased dramatically, especially when the conflict is going on and is heating up as it today. They focus on fighting shrimp farming so that energy that should be used to sanely is drained by conflict with shrimp ponds. The activities of fishers looking for fish are hampered and disturbed by pollution, so consumers are decreasing. Conclusion and recommendation. The industrialization of shrimp. This is for conclusion. The industrialization of shrimp aquaculture has an essential role in developing the fish industry on Konang Beach, Ngelebong village. But when the waste discharge into rivers and seas does not go through a good filters process, it indeed triggers environmental pollution problems between shrimp ponds and traditional fishers who feel that their fishing area is disturbed by shrimp ponds of waste. The consumers of traditional fishers on the village of Ngelebong began to decrease. The emergence of conflict has fostered solidarity and integration of members of traditional fishing groups against the authority owners, namely shrimp ponds owner. For recommendation, the shrimp farming industry does generate huge profits. However, environmental health also needs to be maintained for the welfare and sustainability to the lives of creatures environment. Thank you. Thank you for uh, listening this video.